Hi, I'm Sophie Uliano, author of Gorgeously Green, and I'm going to show you today how to make your own yogurt. Now, I love homemade yogurt. It tastes completely different from anything you can buy in the store. It's inexpensive to make, and what you may not realize is that many store-bought yogurts have all kinds of stabilizers and additives and gums and sugars and things that you really don't want to be eating and don't taste particularly good either. So here's how to make it. It's so easy. So I suggest that you use whole milk because you want a really creamy yogurt. So here we go. We're going to put in 2 pints of whole full cream milk. You can get that milk with the cream on the top, even better. And there's 1 pint, and I'm going to put in my 2nd pint. And I suggest that you also use organic milk as well. Now, I'm going to put that on a medium heat. Now, the thing about making yogurt is it's all about the temperature of the milk. So what you're doing is you're heating the milk until it comes almost to a boil. Now, some people use thermometers for this because they want to be absolutely exact about the temperature. I think it's a waste of time, and you absolutely don't need to. You just eyeball it or use your finger. And we're used to boiling milk all the time, so you can tell when it gets to that point just before it's going to come to the boil. It just forms a few little bubbles on top, and that is exactly the time that you need to whip it off the heat. So let's wait for that to happen. That's the first step. So my milk came to just to the boil. Then I took it off the heat and I left it it took about an hour until it cooled down enough to be tepid. And when I say tepid, I mean, and again, it's not an exact science, it doesn't have to be perfect, but just so that you put your finger in and it's almost like a tepid baby's bath, that kind of temperature is perfect. So that's what it's done. If you want to speed up the cooling temperature, I suggest that you fill a sink full of cold water, even put some ice in there, and then just lay the saucepan in the sink, and that'll cool it down much faster if you want to do the whole thing in 10 minutes or so. So my heated almost to a boiling and then cooled to tepid milk is here. The next thing that I'm going to do is get my yogurt maker. Now, you can get yogurt makers from just about anywhere. Look them up online. You can often find them in old secondhand shops, Oxfam, whatever. Also, Lakeland Plastics does a really fantastic yogurt maker, which is very similar to this. It will come with, and most of them come with, a large jar. So what you're going to do is just take a little bit of the cooled milk and you're going to ladle it into the jar, like so. And then when you get your yogurt maker, it will come with, or you'll order it with, a yogurt starter. And it'll tell you in the starter pack exactly how much you need per amount of milk that you're using. It's just a powder, very easy. I'm going to pour it into this tepid milk, and I'm whisking it up. Just make sure it's really, really well blended in there. That's that. And then the next thing we're going to do is simply add the rest of the milk to the container. So now we have our jar, which is filled with our milk, which is still very slightly warm, and our yogurt starter, which is a little sachet of powder, and I'm going to put the lid on. And then I'm going to put it into my yogurt maker, like so. And the yogurt maker needs to be filled with a little bit of water. And it'll tell you in your particular model of yogurt maker exactly where to fill it up to. In this particular yogurt maker, I'm filling it up to about here, so much full of water. And you'll see when you put the jar in, the water will almost cover the whole jar. And then you're just going to set it aside, plug it in. It's a very low heat, and then you will leave it for 8 hours. When 8 hours is up, you'll take the jar out, you'll put it in the fridge, you will wake up the next morning and you will have the most incredible, creamy, French-style yogurt. Here's another little tip. If you are lactose intolerant, so you want a lactose-free yogurt, Just leave it to process in the yogurt maker for 24 hours. 24 hours, and then you'll have lactose-free yogurt. Take it out, put it in the fridge, next morning, get it out. And what I love to do with my homemade yogurt is I love to eat it with fresh fruit, with granola, with even a little bit of fruit compote, with raw honey, with manuka honey. It's such a healthy breakfast full of probiotics. So I really recommend you have a go at doing this. So for this recipe, for many other tips, tricks, and projects, please visit me at gorgeouslygreen.com.